on Main Street in Jewett City. Let's see. We got to test the new microphones. Go ahead, Chris. Talk.
Hello.
There you are. All right. Paul?
Good morning, Jewett City.
Wow.
Best Robin Williams impression I've heard in ages.
There we go. Woo-hoo. So now look at this. We can sit and talk and have a conversation, and it's just more comfortable this way.
I feel like the
It's just
table
more
was built by the
comfortable.
Lollipop Guild.
What's the matter with that, man? What's the matter with that?
It's like a 60s coffee table. We're all dressed as sunflower children.
Let's see here. These Facebook Live things are, you never know. There we go. All right. We're on. We're on. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to, it's weird on these Facebook Lives on where people come from, where they're at.
Hi, this is Chris. I'm from Duluth, Minnesota.
I really like eggs and waffles.
You like green eggs?
Huh?
You like green eggs?
I do not
Can't
like
have green eggs.
Yeah.
I do not like green eggs.
Can't have green eggs.
Can't ever?
No, Dr. Seuss said no.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
No,
green-
Dr. Seuss didn't say no.
Yeah, I know. No more green eggs.
Dr. Seuss is not a racist. I don't care.
A bunch of soundbite people said no.
Huh? You think so?
Oh yeah, the society is just reacting to sound bites and video clips.
Speaking of sound bites, we have a few sound bites from last night's Board of Finance meeting, which is pretty exciting, actually. Did you, Paul? You got a chance to listen to it? Did you know?
I listened to it, but the volume was pretty bad on the Facebook thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't loud enough. I mean, I had a hard time hearing some of the things that were said. Some of them I could hear because they showed up close. And some of them I couldn't
People
hear.
will forgive video, but they will never ever forgive audio.
I know. There was a little tough hearing. I should have went on the Zoom.
The Zoom meeting was all right.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I should have went, and I didn't realize it until it popped up on Facebook. So I forgot about that meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So last night, the Board of Finance, they decided that they wanted to go ahead and talk about, it was a special meeting. They're talking about the cost overruns when it comes to the senior center. They got everybody together again, the building officials and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think they're going to stop blaming certain people that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I
I think they are, but it seems like Griswold now is still blaming people, the wrong people.
Yeah.
It's
I'm going to put it out there. Stop blaming Tina.
That's
Tina
right.
from the senior center. Stop blaming her. She's got nothing to do with it.
I mean,
Blaming doesn't fix the problem.
Well-
How about instead of blaming people, we start looking at a resolution?
Tina's in charge of the senior center. Her goal
Yes.
was to try to get something new for the seniors.
Yeah.
She relied on the people. She's not a construction person.
Right.
She relied on the people around her to direct her on how to get this thing done.
Right.
She had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to
There's
do
a
with
lot of people along the line that screwed up.
Right.
Big time.
It's not the staff at the senior center. Stop blaming them, please. They really have nothing to do with this.
Nothing. And then this bullshit of family this and family that. Get over it. It's all we hear. Family this. Well, if you don't like the families involved with any of the stuff that goes,
Okay.
get your ass out there and do something about
Exactly. Okay. We know the first selectman is married to the
it. And that's
to the,
and people are
the-
bitching about that.
director of the senior center. So what?
So what?
I have never ever seen at any meeting them use or even come close. Matter of fact, they're hyper vigilant about it
Yes.
to make sure that they do their own separate things.
Yep.
And you never hear Todd say, well, I'm going to have my wife talk about it.
Yeah.
No, he goes, I'm going to go ahead and defer to the director of the senior center,
Yeah.
Right.
or she will address him as the first selectman. Everything is very professional on the up and up. And if there's something that the first selectman needs to walk out of the room for because, it's They don't want any of that. He
Right.
does.
He does, yeah.
He
And
does
there-
exclude himself. She does too.
But keep in mind, there are 2 other people on the board.
Huh?
It's ultimate 3 people's decision, not 1.
Right.
So get
Exactly.
over it.
Do people actually believe that Tina and Todd sit at home at night while watching Dancing with the Stars, planning these evil undoings?
Because it's somebody to blame.
That's right.
No different than any other board that we got around town. So
Right. Like,
get over it. We all know what board we're talking about.
Everybody would rather look backwards than look forward.
I know.
Instead
Yeah.
of blaming people, why don't we just figure out how to fix it?
yeah. So stop blaming the
Yeah.
people at the
Here, I'll take all the heat. It was me.
it's a bunch of
Everybody
BS.
blame me. Now fix it.
I mean, it's a series of steps that happened, and failure happened along the way.
All right. So they're $1 million out is where they are.
Yeah, let's get back. It's not $10 million.
No, it's not a $10 million.
People say $10 million. Not $10 million.
They're rounding up, man.
Yeah, and the people in one certain group that we have in town bitching about the older people getting the freaking.
You talking about Griswold now?
Well, could
Well,
be.
let's talk about Griswold now. Go ahead. You know what I mean?
Quit your bitching because.
Oh,
these-
you know what? You can't blame Carl Lucier because Carl Lucier just runs the board. But
True.
people then will turn around and start blaming Carl
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Lucier.
yeah. Well,
It's-
those people that this building is being built for, is the same friggin' people that pay to have the school board, the schools over there done for your kids. So quit your bitching.
whoa.
I mean, I'm
Get
sick
'em,
of
Paul.
reading.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about people pointing fingers when they don't get off their ass to do anything.
You mean the keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
Social justice warrior.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm going to go into my den. I'm going to turn the lights out, turn my computer on, and let's see who I can rile up today.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we can get.
I put a story up yesterday about a girl that got arrested in Moose Up. She was all up on me. It's like,
Blame her.
come on, Deb Palmer, get with it.
It's all her.
No, what the hell was
Come on.
what the hell was that stuff going on when I was a teenager?
You know what? We were too busy outside playing
think so. I mean,
baseball
I
and
mean,
hide and
come
seek
on.
and cops and robbers.
Never happened to me.
That's
when I
what
was
we
a
were
kid.
doing.
Until the
My God.
streetlights came on.
Then the street lights came on. It's like, whoa, it's time to go back inside. You know,
Oh,
The
man.
unwritten law.
we're not sitting here pouncing our keyboard on Grizzled Dog going, let's see what we can do here. It's let's blame the senior center staff.
Yeah.
It's all their fault.
Well,
It's not.
yeah. If you look
Get
back,
over it,
It's
folks.
part of society now. Though.
Well,
Get over it, folks.
if you look back at the series of things that happened, there was a grant, as we all know, right,
Mhm.
for to go out and get a design, right? It was
Yeah.
wasn't a big grant. I think it was only a couple $100,000, right? Which kind of got screwed up because they said it couldn't be a community center. But I wonder if that could be changed because the amount of the design that some of the money, I mean, 250 grand is a very small portion of the 9 million that's out there for this particular project.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a very small percentage. So why couldn't we see if that could be changed so that they could be used as a community center?
Well,
I don't know if that could be
I don't
done.
know. I don't know. I don't think that's. I mean, the senior center wants it to be a senior center. That's the way it was bonded. That was the
True.
premise and why people went to the polls
Yeah, but
and
didn't
said,
they have to
"Let's
change?
vote."
Didn't they have to change it from being a senior center?
No,
I thought they had to change the title of the building.
no. I think people wanted it. Some people, there was a small grassroots community that wanted it to be a community center
Mhm.
instead of the actual just senior center.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be the Mike Minarski Grizzled Senior Center.
Now, what's the delineation between a community center and a senior center? What's the age limit? You have to be 50 to walk in the doors,
50
or
no, but I believe because I can now join at 55.
okay.
So I think 55 is the age that you can.
And this is something you have to
jump in.
join. You physically fill out a piece
Yeah,
of
but
paper,
yeah, but it's not much. It's
like a
not
library card.
kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
and the dues are very cheap. It's like $30 a year or something. It's not expensive.
Okay.
And there are so many amenities that you get. I mean, I just want to start going bingo. Win like a piece of fruit.
Ooh,
No, wait, no, that's not that's convalescent home. This is the senior center. It's totally different.
what's a dragon fruit?
I mean, because it's a senior center doesn't mean that people can't meet in there, I would think.
Well, that's
It's a town building.
right, but
I mean-
that's also under the discretion of the senior center themselves and as far as using it. But here's another thing that this is not going to be a community center. Can people go ahead and meet there? Well, they allowed other organizations to use the current senior center.
Right. Just can't call it
Right.
a community center. That's all.
Exactly.
I mean, what the hell? You go and use it for something. I mean, come on. Well, I don't see why you couldn't.
The other thing
who's
is,
gonna bitch
the
at
other
'em?
thing is too is the New River Church.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Pastor Josh George is going to allow that building to be used by the community as well.
Right.
So there are going to be options.
Mhm.
So I mean that's all they're laying down there. But they're going to put a splash pad in.
You don't have to be
there.
a
They're gonna
member.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a member of their church to go into a splash pad.
I don't think so. No.
Are they going to use holy water?
Wow.
Well, I know a lot of people are bitching because they think that the youth
New
center-
way to get baptized. Just walk through the splash pad.
they think that the
Meet
kids
me on the other side.
Woohoo!
they think that the kids should be able to go into the senior center. Well, they got their own building down here.
It's called a school.
Well, no, I'm
Uh,
talking about
you
the
You
youth
should try going
the
there.
youth center. I mean, what the heck's the
Right.
difference? They have their own
Right.
building.
Can the seniors go in there?
I don't see why they couldn't.
Yeah.
I think there should be an invasion.
You're only as old as you feel, man. Go to
Everybody-
the youth center. if you
Everybody
want, yeah.
55 and
So,
over, head for the youth center. We're
Let's go
taking
play
it.
Chinese checkers.
We're taking
Checkers.
it over.
Oh, can we even say Chinese checkers anymore?
No.
I don't even know.
I don't even know if people play that game anymore.
So if anybody has any comments about the Board of Finance meeting last night, or let us know. I would like to know what you think, how you feel about the cost overruns, are right around $1 million.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Now, I've got a couple of audio clips from last night's
Yeah,
Board
play
of Finance meeting.
Play 'em.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
is amped up.
Yeah.
I'll
He
go
is
off your word.
Amped up. All right. So now the first clip, it's going to introduce it a little bit, is Gail Rook Norman, a member of the Board of Finance. And this clip is actually the longest. I have 4 clips.
Okay.
This is Gail Rook Norman, and it's about 3 minutes long, but it's the longest clip that I have. But she gives a good description of what she's looking for as far as the people that are building the center and the cost overruns and what she wants to see and how things cost and what it's going to break down to. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you right now.
The flagship for Griswold High
Okay,
School
play that
Sports.
instead.
Your home for local news and weather, broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City. The streaming news and sports network, SNSN.
Every time you go to a new hour, it does that. So let's try this. Here we go.
First of all, I feel that with all these different handouts and lists, that there hasn't been a comprehensive line by line reduction of where we can be today. And I would like to task the committee PAC to get that done within an X number of days. I would not support the Board of Finance doing any kind of appropriation on our own. I will only support a referendum. Since we have this iffy situation with the referendum while the governor's order is still in place, we will have to perhaps think about going to referendum like a day or two after his order expires. But I would like to see a number significantly less than the shortfall we're looking at right now, based on the reductions that they're going to buy into. I think the committee has to buy into certain reductions. I think it needs to be on paper. There's been too much that's been stored in random access memory here. And I think we really need to nail everything down. And that's for us for the taxpayers, for PAC, for the committee. I think everybody has to buy into those numbers.
So what specifically are you looking for?
I think everything that's not done yet needs to be reviewed. Can you accept lesser counters? Can you accept lesser ceiling tiles? Can we get this building done and a CO issued and maybe save 200 grand along the way? Are there certain expenses, the signage, inside signage, is that necessary? Is it something that, and necessary is the wrong word, it's probably necessary, but can it be deferred with something that's temporary signage until the funds might be available a year or 2 years from now? Things that the taxpayers have approved a substantial amount of funding for a beautiful building for the seniors. Let's get it done. You're absolutely right, Todd. We can't let an unfinished building sit. But I think everybody has to buy into the fact that we're at the end of a shoestring budget right now for the remaining items. And I think everything that hasn't been ordered or contracted for needs to be reviewed and think out of the box.
So now that was Gail Rook-Norman speaking at last night's Board of Finance special meeting. And one of the things I do appreciate about small town politics is that on a Board of Finance, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. These folks are all taxpayers themselves, and they all, you would hope, share a same common goal, or means to an end.
I mean, I hope when they put this list together that whoever decides on which way to go, that the person is intelligent enough to know if we do this, this is going to happen. So let's not just get rid of marble countertops and put in cardboard ones because it's going to save us $20,000. We have to be very sensible when we make these decisions to lower the grade of something we want to put in. Now, we talked about the ceiling tiles. All right, ceiling tiles. Are we going to put in something that may not be fireproof just to save a few bucks?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, and maybe the ones they put in are fireproof, maybe the ones they're not going to put in are fireproof. So we have to be smart with whoever's making that decision to decide what is the right way to go, because we all know, you cut your nose off to spite your face, to be frugal about something, and then he's going to turn around and bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, exactly. I think you can't be penny wise and pound foolish
Right.
at this point. If you take and you reduce the cost of the ceiling tiles, what's the replacement time on those? Are you going to buy one tile that's going to last 10 years, or are you going to buy, one tile that's going to last 3 years and have to replace it every 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
So just lowering the cost isn't necessarily the best idea. You've got to look at the other factors that come into play, like replacement costs.
Right. Well, okay. That's true. Now, it's funny that you guys went off on that side of the conversation, because the next audio clip I'm going to play is about a minute long, little bit over a minute and 1 second. This is the Board of Finance Chairman, Scott Davis. And this is pretty much into response of what Gail Rook-Norman had to say, but also added his own flair and what he thought as well.
All right, I'm a little confused. I've been going to doctor all my life. And every doctor that I've gone to, they've got laminate counters in the exam room. You're telling me that every doctor I've gone to is wrong? I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. And I guess to Gail's point, I guess what she's looking for a list of everything that hasn't been done, and she wants it broken down, because you know what, instead of granite countertops, maybe you do need to go to laminate countertops at that savings, because at this point, we've got $1 million shortfall. You can't be picky at this point. You can't get, champagne tastes with beer money. I hate to be cliche about it, but that's the fact. So there's going to have to be some sacrifices. So I guess what Gail is looking for, and correct me if I'm wrong, we want a list of all the open items, We want to know what the fit and finishes are of those items, and we want to know what the what alternatives are to be able to lessen those costs.
So there you go. So there's the Board of Finance chairman, who I believe is in our Facebook Live now as well.
Yeah.
Responding to Gail Rook Norman. Now he makes a very valid point. You know, at least like to me, he does about laminate, countertops.
There's
Okay.
nothing wrong. I mean, let's face it. When a lot of people bought houses years ago, it was always laminate.
Mm-hmm.
And they last for quite a few years. There's nothing wrong with laminate.
Right.
But again, you have to make sure you get the right laminate. Don't put it in some piece of thing that's going to chip.
But regardless,
Yeah.
the problem is that I really think that the town needs to unite to find out. And I think that's what the Board of Finance is doing. And the second thing is we've talked about it already. Stop blaming the senior center
Right.
and their staff.
Right.
They got nothing to freaking do with it.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
No.
Want to blame somebody? So let's talk to the architect, which we're going to play about in a minute.
Yeah.
So, but that's I think Mr. Davis is spot on.
I think he is too. And I think if the right people make the right decision, then we'll get the right stuff put in there. It
exactly.
has to be the right people.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, hopefully not the same people that have made some of the decisions prior to this that got us in this position.
I mean, one of the things that Steve Michael talked about last night is, how much the architect costs and where the hell was he? Where is this person? I mean, why is he not there answering questions that the Board of Finance may have? I mean, he's made a lot of money, with this. So
No kidding.
So I'm gonna play another clip. This is Gail Rook Norman once again, and this was after what Scott had just said. So Here we go.
And what I'm suggesting is that rather than for us to make the decision to tell you what to cut, you put your heads together and decide which things that you're willing to cut and which things you want to try to save. Because you're going to be utilizing this building. You have the experts giving you advice. And I think that you've worked and labored with this building project all this time. I think it's only appropriate for you to make the decisions on what can be cut at this point in time and maybe upgraded 4 or 5 years from now. Because we could make a poor choice because it's not our baby, it's your baby. And I know it's a tremendous amount of work. It's minutia, but we got to get down to the minutia, and we're asking you to do it so that you can still have a beautiful building with a couple of things off the wish list.
So what I'm getting out of that audio clip right there is Gail Rook Norman, as well as the rest of the members of the Board of Finance. They all seem to concur, or pretty much on the same page last night. Is that they want the senior center staff and to work with the type of building that they do want.
Right.
And one thing that they also did say is that they wanted to go to referendum. They do not want to appropriate any money whatsoever, just on their own merits, the Board of Finance. Anything, if any money gets appropriated, they want to go to referendum.
To defend the architect just for a second, and I'm sure this is going to get blowback, but I'm going to say it. The architect is required to do the structural integrity of the building. He has nothing to do with the fit and finish. He doesn't choose what countertops, what color paint, none of it. He says this building is strong enough to keep a roof over your heads. So when it comes to cost overruns for aesthetics, that's not on him. The aesthetics are based on whoever made that choice, who decided to have, granite counters instead of laminate counters. Where was that decision made? At what level? You can't blame the architect for that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying whoever picked the granite counters was wrong. I'm just saying that you can't shoot the architect because of a cost overrun if we were the ones making the choices for a higher aesthetic value.
Yeah, and the other thing, to your point, Chris, is that we went to referendum a year and a half ago. they voted on 3 certain items, the senior center being one of them, which, and was it 7.4, 7.5, right around there, that the residents of this town went ahead and said, okay, we will go ahead and we'll bite the bullet and we will spend the money for a brand new senior center. They appropriated X amount of dollars. Now they want 110% of X. Where did that come from? Why was the contract signed for more money after the money was already appropriated?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
if they
You know,
said that,
so-
they were willing to put up a new senior center for $7.5 million, and now all of a sudden it's 10,
It's not 10, it's 9.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, if it was signed for 9, somebody screwed up the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my understanding is that apparently the drawings that they had were only 60% done, which kind of surprised me because
Well, then why are they basing that
I
choice off
know
of a
I don't
60%
know. I don't
drawing?
know. I honestly don't know what happened there, especially when you paid this guy all that money.
I think Cindy Briggs goes ahead and agrees with you, Chris. I think this is what she's saying is typically a collaboration between a designer and contractor is used for the finishes.
Right, which doesn't include the architect. He says this wall goes
Now,
here.
this is right in her wheelhouse, by the way. This is what she does. Why, Cindy, you're not on the board of finance? I don't really know. And she goes, that's just part of the epic fail. That's where the epic fail started, not to mention the plans were only 60%.
That's the killer to me.
That's the killer.
Who made the choice to move forward with only
Mhm.
60% of the information available?
That'll come out at some point. We don't know.
But again, I got to go back because I know I'm talking
If
about.
you're going to talk about the architect, I want to play because this clip right here has to do with that.
Okay.
So I want you to listen to this and listen to Steve Micatel. And then, Chris, if you'll go ahead and speak on that after.
Okay.
It's a minute clip. Here we go.
We should be looking forward, not backwards. I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes made here, but we now are stuck with the predicament and we have to work through it. I agree with Gail. They should be going and reviewing all the deferred costs and decide where they want to make changes to reduce the costs. That's good. But I also want to know, and I think the architect should work with them. The architect pay the architect $400,000 in this building. That architect should be down here helping them and make some of those choices, because the architect knows building material. He knows things that he can suggest on how to reduce costs. This architect, as far as I'm concerned, I am really disappointed in that architect for a lot of different reasons. But for $400,000, he should be down here meeting with these people and telling them, here's what you can do. Instead of taking this granite countertop, here's what you can do and use, and here's what it would cost.
All right, so there he's talking about how the architect, Steve Micatel believes that the architect should be down here talking about materials and the different costs and stuff like that, which being, of course, part of the cost overruns, and he got paid $400K to do it. So your thought?
Well, I'll disagree with Steve. Honorably, I'll disagree with Steve. I think that the architect is the guy who says this wall goes here, this door goes there, this window goes there. That's what his job is. His job isn't to weigh the cost of laminate versus marble.
Mhm.
That's a designer's job.
Okay.
To me, the only fault
Is that the senior center building committee that designs
I
that?
have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know who makes that decision. But what I will say is, again, we're looking to blame people. The only thing I think the architect did wrong was not having the drawings ready when we made the decision. Going forward from there,
Then why did we hold the referendum?
why did we make the decision based off of a 60% done drawing?
I don't know.
So that's my thing. But again, I gotta
See, yeah, it's true. It's not our job to say, okay, you did it, or whatever.
right.
It's our job, to just, facilitate a conversation.
Yeah.
To see, what are the thoughts here?
Well, it's the town's job at this point not to do the you did it, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. The town's job is to go, okay, This is where we are.
Yeah.
How do we fix it?
That's it.
You know,
And
just
yeah,
walk away from the building then. Just walk away from it.
Yeah, I think we all assumed that the design was done because they originally got a $250,000 grant to design the building, wasn't it? Or was it a feasibility study? What was it? What was the?
I'm not sure.
There was a $250,000.
I can't answer that
But
question.
that's the $250,000 grant that they got that said it had to be a senior center, not a community center. That 250.
That I knew there was some sort of that's what you were talking about earlier.
Correct.
Okay.
So that was my understanding was to get a
So a
design
certain amount of
together.
money was contingent on what they were calling the building.
So I don't know what happened there, but you're right. And I assumed this building was designed.
Mhm.
You know, now whether like you said, countertops and all that other stuff was brought into the mix, probably not, because they just had an overall picture of what the building was going to look like. You know,
Right.
the structural part, which
Right.
is what the architect is supposed to do.
Right.
Um,
You know, I can, as an architect, give you a 3D drawing of the room.
Yeah.
But I'm not telling you where the freaking couch is going to go.
right.
You know, that's the designer's job. I'm not telling you what kind of couch to buy. That's
Right.
the designer's job.
Right.
You know, and then the designer talks with the ultimate owner and says, well, do you want leather or do you want suede?
Right.
You
It's
know,
no different than you building a new house. You know,
True.
you get an architect to come in, but then you work with the builder. In
Right.
this case,
Right.
what do you want? You don't want this, you want that. You know, this cost you this will cost you that. Maybe the decisions were made. Well, we didn't know what the cost of that was going to be.
But
Maybe that's
who made the decisions?
Well, we don't want to point fingers at anybody, but my understanding is that Tina, who's not a construction person, there was a committee, an overall committee to overlook the construction of this building, right?
The Senior Center Building Committee.
And they were involved even when they went out for that first. I believe there was a building committee that was put together when they went out after that $250,000 grant.
Okay.
That she didn't make that decision on her own. She had a building committee at that point in time that were going to assist her in designing this building.
Right.
So and then now, to me, you know, they're put in place. They're the ones that are supposed to make the decisions. It's no different than, you know, you got to report to somebody
right. Well, to me, the grant was a feasibility study.
type of thing. Yeah.
Well, if it's a feasibility study, that's not saying what kind of counters you're going to have and how
No.
big the building's going to be or what even design it's going to be.
Right.
All it's saying is, can we afford to have a senior center?
Right.
That's a feasibility study.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess we could, I don't know. You don't want to point fingers at anybody, but unfortunately there was a committee put in place that was supposed to monitor, to have the construction project manager work with the town's committee to make decisions on how this was going to be done.
I think the mistakes weren't made just by one person. I think there was
A series of
a
mistakes.
series of unfortunate events.
That lack of communication. Now, did COVID have anything to do with it? Yeah, I would think COVID had something to do with it because a lot of people were afraid to meet.
Mhm.
You know, so that had a lot to do with it. So we can't blame it all on, you know, lack of communication because people were afraid to meet. Nobody was meeting back in beginning of the year, if you think about it.
You can meet on Griswold now.
Yeah.
So we can point fingers, but you're right,
Yeah.
Chris.
Pointing finger.
The overall
Christy. Who's
end
Christy?
of this thing is to get the damn thing built, and stop bitching, and let's get the thing done.
He just called somebody Christy. Who the hell are you talking about?
Chris.
Oh, Christy. Wow.
No, just Chris.
All right. Yeah. That's what I thought.
You're hearing it's going.
Yeah, you're right.
I knew a
You're
kid
right.
growing up named Chrissy. He got
I
his
knew,
butt kicked every week.
Uh,
They said, what do you want to be called? I said, Chris.
So let me ask you a question. Paul, as it sits right now in the situation
Mhm.
with the cost overruns, A, do you let the building sit, or B, do you say no, find the money and finish it?
I think we find the money.
Okay.
I think personally, and I saw somebody say this on Facebook, let's take the money out of the general fund.
And Alex Grislak said that last night and said, and that will make me sick, or it'll make him nauseous or something to that effect.
But we can build it back up again. There's no reason why we can't build
But then you
it.
set that precedent. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I-
Okay. Then you set that precedent, and it's like, how many times do we do that?
And how do you build it back up again? By increasing the tax base?
The tax base is getting increased.
No, I know that, but I mean, to account for $1 million in cost overruns,
all right. So you want to take it out of your pocket?
uh,
Well, it's coming out of somebody's pocket.
It came out of the pocket. The reason why we
It
have
doesn't matter where you
we-
take it from.
it
It's all
came-
coming from the same place, really.
I
And it's
know,
all getting
but it
funded
already
back
came
from
out
the
of the taxpayer's pocket.
correct. I get that. I do understand that. But now you're looking for more money. You're saying, okay, let's just take it out of what, surplus of the general fund or whatever.
What the hell?
But then if you got to build it back up again, that's still coming out.
What's the difference if you have your own checking account and all of a sudden you need some funds? So where do you go? Do you go to your goddamn savings account and you pay the goddamn bill, and then you save more money to get it in there? What the hell's the difference?
What I'm
We're
saying,
going to save that money for what?
I know. What I'm saying is that either way, taxes are going to go up.
I think we surround the building with street performers, and all the tips that they raise will go into building the finished million.
Well,
I say we have a boot drive
That's right. Yeah.
downtown. Chris, what about you? What do you think? I mean, because you don't really have any skin in the game at all.
well, yes, he does.
He's a resident.
He's a taxpayer.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
No, I don't.
He doesn't really care. That's what I meant by that.
Oh,
Do you let the building sit or do you finish it?
If you let the building sit, who are you punishing? I think you're punishing the senior citizens.
Correct.
And it's none of their fault. I mean, sure, there were some senior citizens that were involved in decision making, but as a whole, the senior citizens in this town shouldn't be punished because of poor management by a group of people.
And we don't, which has yet to be identified.
So I think,
Well, I think they've identified. They just said something.
so I think you
maybe the
do finish the building.
Mhm.
and maybe the people that were picked were the wrong people.
So what you're saying is if this goes to referendum, you would vote yes, find the money, finish it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way. What are you going to do? Because
Yeah.
you can't have, even if it sits there, you're still going to maintain it.
Well, I think people are going to throw their hands in the air and go, well, what are we going to do?
Well, and I think
You
Paul
know?
made a really valid point earlier where he said, you know, the senior citizens, the guys that are trying to get into this building and enjoy it, are the same people that make sure your kids have a great school to go to.
Mhm.
You know, the taxes are coming out of their pocket to
Yeah, they
support the
paid to have
schools.
those schools built.
You know, so it shouldn't be just the senior citizens that are on the hook for this. I think the whole town should be on the hook.
Yeah, see, my take on it is I believe that the senior center, as the schools, are an investment in this town.
Right.
And I think, and I've said this to, I believe I've said this to Scott Davis, and I've said it to Tina. People look at things like that when they want to move into a certain town.
You're
You
absolutely
know,
right.
what's the youth center like? What are the youth programs like? What are the schools like? What's the senior center like?
Yeah.
These are all things that make Griswold look like a wonderful place to to live, to move.
Yeah.
To stay here. Are you going to pay on the onset? Yeah. But with business, you have to look, optimistically. With businesses coming into the area and 164 going to be getting built out in the next couple of years, 2-3 years.
Sure.
I think it's going to be kind of a non-issue. Now, will the taxes go down? No, we know that.
No.
It's not going to go down. But will they stabilize? They could, especially with the additional revenue that, is hoping to come in.
Right.
Isn't everything really just a gamble?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in business, you got to look at the town as a business. They're trying to bring other things in so they can go ahead and they can get additional and tax revenues. But it really is just a gamble.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're coming. We don't know if they're going to finish the senior center. We don't know if they're going to put a pool, at Griswold High School. Not that it ever came up. I'm just saying. These are things that it's like, if they're thinking about, it's a gamble.
Mm-hmm.
All the senior center, all the Board of Finance is trying to do right now is stabilize that gamble and bring it down to where it's affordable. If you can take that $1 million and now make it $500,000,
But you could.
what do you think happens? Do you think people say, well, it's still $500,000? Or do they say, well, at least it's only $500,000 instead of $1 million?
In today's society, no. Yeah,
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
right. Everybody's going to be bitching and moaning no matter what the dollar amount is. It could be $10 over, and some people are going to go, oh my God,
Yeah.
vapor lock and scream and rant and rave that
You are going to get that.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying
Yeah.
is everybody in today's society is just, it's the cancel society.
Yeah.
It's okay for a lot of these people to bitch on Grizzle now about what happened at the senior center, but they can drive down to the town hall, pick up a box of food that was supplied by the senior center, who went out and got the food for them.
Do you remember when BP, the Event Horizon or whatever it was, the oil rig down in the Gulf
Mhm.
blew up?
Yeah.
I remember that they took a soundbite from Obama at the time when he leaned into somebody, I forget who it was, one of the guys on the board or something. He said, just plug the damn hole. And that's where we are right now. Just finish the damn senior center.
Yeah. Plug it up.
Yes, there's going to be a whole bunch of pissing.
In 3 years from now, it's going to be a complete non-issue. Hopefully,
Right.
on the gamble that other businesses are coming in to stabilize the tax base.
Right.
Who knows?
Just finish it.
And they could get grants in the future to upgrade
That's
certain
true.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think
But-
it's a benefit. I think you do it, you finish it. Don't bitch about the money. Just we have the money. Obviously, they have it in the slush fund, or the general fund to do it. Bite the bullet, take it, make this town look beautiful.
What's a husk
Finish
of a
it.
building doing for us right now?
Exactly.
It's not doing anything for the town right now.
Mhm. But you know what? Then we can sit and say, oh, plans are only 60% done. Well, guess what? If they're 100% done, we're still talking the same money.
Yes, we are.
Mhm.
That's right.
You're still talking the same money.
But the
So
only
it doesn't really
but the
much
only
matter.
the only difference would have happened was instead of going out referendum for 7.5 million, it would have been over 8 million.
Right.
And maybe that would have been a decision that people may have not voted for.
This
You know?
may be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
This may be a blessing in disguise, where now they bonded 7.4. We got $1 million cost overrun, right? So we're 7.5 to bring it to 8.5, not 10 million grizzled now, right? So now they have the opportunity to go ahead and confer and cut some of that cost.
Right.
So if they bonded 8.5, guess what? Boom, you're on the hook. That's the end of it. Now there's more of a conversation. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise.
Right.
You know what another blessing in disguise is?
What's that?
And we haven't talked about it yet.
Breakfast?
Yes. We have breakfast coming up. However, we got a $100 gift card to give away.
Oh,
Sweet.
sweet.
We got a $100 gift card
Did you
to give
give away yesterday's card?
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah.
We've given away 3 now.
Wow.
Here
Oh,
comes
and our
number 4.
Who's been our winners?
Michelle D'Amico won the first one.
Yay.
Jessica Preslucky won the second one. And a young lady named Angelina won yesterday, all with the correct word of the day. Now, the only way you're going to get the word of the day is if you have the SNSN app. It'll get pushed out to you. Boom, there you go. You got a word of the day, then you call in. And we're going to do that right now.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to take the third caller.
Third call.
No, let's make it the fourth caller.
Ooh,
The fourth caller with the correct word.
You're a wild man.
Fourth caller. Well, the fourth caller, I'm going to ask if they have the correct word. After that, if they don't, then
Do we
we'll
know
just go
what
to the
fourth-
fifth call. We'll go to the fifth caller. We'll go to the sixth caller, whatever it is, if they know the word of the day.
Hey, what's the phone number?
Give me a chance, Paul. I'm getting there.
phone number.
860-59, and their phone's already ringing. 591-1054. Here we go. Hi, you're calling number 1. Try again. All right, that's calling number 1. 860-591-1054.
Now,
If you know the word of the day.
They're pacing themselves.
Your caller
now.
number 2. Try again. Watch just one caller.
Same guy calling over and over and over.
Caller number 3. We're looking for 4. Next one. Here we go. Good morning, SNSN. Who's this?
I'm Mr. Account.
Who?
I'm not. I'll give you one more.
No, you're the one. You're the fourth caller.
Who's this? This is Bill?
Hello.
Hello? Oh, they hung up. Okay.
Okay. Let's go for caller number 5.
Here we go. SNSN. Who's this?
Joanne.
Joanne.
Kellyanne.
Yeah,
Joanne or Kellyanne?
it's Joanne McCoy.
Joanne
Am I number
McCoy.
4?
Joanne, I have a question for you.
Am I number 4?
Oh, well, I'm the one asking the questions, Joanne.
What?
What is the word of the day?
Of the day. The word of the day is account.
Oh my God!
Mostly like you.
Woo! You go, girl.
Woo!
I've been trying all week.
Well, guess what?
I won.
You won.
I'm so happy.
Joanne, you got a $100 gift card from Big Y Supermarket, all from your friends, made it possible from Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Why is somebody calling my cell phone?
It's your daughter.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
You can't win that way. You got it. So
And I'm so happy. Thank you.
you're very welcome, and I'll have it put aside for you, and I'll message you later on how we can get it to you.
Thank you.
All right, Joanne, have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I have a complaint.
There we go. Joanne McCoy is our winner for today.
I have a complaint.
What?
The population of people that won is all women. We didn't adequately model the population. So 50% of the winners should have been men. So we need to take 2 cards back.
Not my fault.
Paul and I will graciously accept the cards.
Not my fault. Can't help it.
Maybe women already do the shopping in those houses.
So there you go. That $100 gift card right there from Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank for Big Y.
Going to?
That'll cover your taxes for the new senior center.
Sweet. There you go. We're not giving you the card. We're giving it to the senior center.
That's it. That's it.
We'll mention you as a charitable donator.
Yeah. So seniors, just so you know, they'll find the money. You'll get the senior center finished. I am confident that will happen. 2 reasons. They deserve it. And the second reason, they're not going to let the building sit there.
Unfortunately, it'll be opened later than what they expected, but it'll get there eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. You have Stump the Chump, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Ooh,
All right. But before that, I think we need to take a little break and do this. So we'll be back to play Stump the Chump. Keep it right here. It's SNSN.
Hi, this is Alan Gear. You may know me as Mr. Jewett City. I want to tell you about my experience with our local eye doctor, Dr. Joel Zuckerbrun. I recently had cataract surgery, and I was told that I needed new glasses. I didn't know what to do because the problem was this was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Where the heck was I going to get glasses? I checked places that make glasses. I looked online, and what I found was my solution was practically in my own backyard. So I called Dr. Z, as most people know him. His office is right on North Main Street, right here in the borough of Jewett City. I went to my appointment and had my glasses faster than I would have thought possible. Call Dr. Zuckerbrun at 376-2848. I trust Dr. Z with my eyesight, and you should too. Make an appointment today.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
We are the future. Griswold Parks and Rec is a parent's one-stop source for all things fun. Town events, sports, fitness, and enrichment for all ages. We love our residents. Let us prove it. Go to griswoldrec.org.
I'm going to tell you a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Once upon a time, my neighbor took some stuff called heroin, or maybe something else called fentanyl, but it killed her. The end. She was the best neighbor you could ever have. I can only imagine how her 12-year-old daughter feels. This is a story that is told more and more every single day. People that are addicted to opioids are just like you and I. It's your neighbor, it's your uncle, or even your mother. Good people that have gotten sick and they are dying. This story can change. Prescription drug abuse is a serious public health issue that can be faced effectively with the right resources and education. Don't let opioids have the last word. I can change the script. You can change the script. We can change the script.
For additional resources, go to www.drugfreeconnecticut.org. This message brought to you by Griswold Pride, Putnam Pride, and United Services. SN Internet Radio weather is being brought to you by Dean's Corner Diner, Main Street, Jewett City. Call them and have your order ready for pickup, 860-376-9141. Are you looking to make a smart choice today? Well, if you are, then choose to get breakfast or lunch today at Dean's Corner Diner in Jewett City. Whether it's eggs, pancakes, burgers, or homemade soup, Dean's Corner Diner is always a smart choice. Call and order ahead by calling 860-376-9141. Dean is open 7 days a week, so come in, mask up, and eat up. Dean's Corner Diner, Main Street, Jewett City.
All right, let's check the forecast right now. Here he is, the one and only. You had one job, Paul Lash.
Good morning, everybody. And right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 25 degrees. Plenty of sunshine around today. Highs will be around 33 degrees. However, the wind will continue between 10 to 20 miles per hour. But tonight, partly cloudy, lows around 19. For your Saturday, going to be generally sunny. However, there'll be a few afternoon clouds. Highs will be around 34. Sunday, well, guess what? Sunny again. High around 37. However, the winds continue 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Monday, well, hopefully back to work, back to school, whatever you're doing. Mostly sunny, highs around 44 degrees. And that's your weather from SNSN on this Friday, 03/05/2021.
What was the date?
5th.
5th of what?
March.
What year?
2021.
They mix it up a lot, and I can listen to them for longer periods of time.
Which I did say.
I don't know.
I did say it.
All right. Congratulations, Joanne McCoy. We love you too, by the way. $100 gift card winner to Big Y. From your friends at Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Go green. Wait a minute, you're not on.
There, that's better.
Hey.
Hey.
All right, time to play. You guys can play along if you want to. It's called Stump the Chump. We do it every Friday.
Who's the returning champion?
Shut up.
Who?
Shut up. I don't even care anymore. Stump the Chump. I don't care.
Purple.
He won again. They didn't even ask the question yet. So, Paul, what is the subject matter today?
Oh, it's just a mixed bag.
All right. You know what? We're just going to call it mixed bag.
It's mixed bag.
We're not going to call it Stump the Chump anymore. We're just going to call it mixed bag.
Mixed bag.
Mixed bag o' nuts.
No, they're not nuts.
So 10 questions, rapid fire.
You ready?
I'm never really ready for this, but go.
Okay, here we go. What is the difference between soft drinks and hard drinks?
Yeah, what the hell is the
Liquor.
difference?
Liquor.
Yeah, what the hell is the
Liquor.
difference?
It's liquor.
You're both right. 1-1.
Liquor, alcohol, correct. What sort of storm is shaped like a funnel and very
Tornado.
Ooh, both got it at the same time.
I think he actually
Yeah, we'll call
got
it
it.
a push.
Yeah.
We'll call it a push.
How often does a leap year happen?
4 years.
Oh my God, they're
A
right.
push.
What 1935 New Deal program required disabled and elderly people with monthly payments?
Social Security.
Oh my God.
Wow.
We're both on fire.
What do you call furniture that's made and finished specific for outdoor use?
Lawn furniture.
Patio.
Lawn furniture.
It's actually patio furniture, but
My favorite Irishman.
lawn
Patio furniture.
Lawn furniture. Could be lawn furniture too.
No, I got the answer that he was looking
come
for.
on! What a suck up.
Yeah. Where are the carpal bones?
Wrist.
found?
Hand.
Wrist.
Wrist.
I know, and I had carpal tunnel surgery too.
They're phalanges.
Phalanges.
In Frosty the Snowman,
Hat.
what are Frosty's eyes made of?
Coal.
Ooh, maybe.
Bush. Maybe.
Maybe there. What is the last line in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
You go down in history.
That is
Wow.
correct. That is correct. What is the acronym EU referring
European
to?
Union.
Euphemism.
That is correct. European Union. Which American television sitcom in which a witch marries an ordinary man? and-
Bewitched.
That was close, both of you.
Are we
So
done?
I'm not quite sure where we are.
I think
We'll
I
call
think
it a push,
Chris-
and I will retain the
I
championship.
think you were actually up by 2.
Anybody out there
If
keeping
anything,
count?
So
if anything,
nobody
it-
played along with us. What the hell's wrong?
Yeah. If anything, it
fun.
was like a couple seconds.
Yeah,
Very close.
Yeah,
Mike was on point today.
But I will say that I will defer as a gentleman that I do believe that you got a 2 or 3 of them quicker than I did.
Well, only because you threw away the first question. I think that's the only reason I won today.
And I call patio furniture lawn furniture.
Yeah.
Always have.
What was the answer written down on the paper?
Patio.
Thank you.
Shut up. What the hell? They come in here, they're drunk. You just think that. I know.
You think this is straight coffee? Look at my hair; it's red. It's an Irish
Hey,
coffee.
Jesus. We did basketball last night. Totally different.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I turned it on and I kept
Uh-huh.
seeing these numbers going 9, 9-2, 9-3, 9-1, 9-1. What the hell's
What are you
going
talking
on?
about?
That was early. The basketball game, I saw the numbers 9-2-5, 9-2-4, 9-2-3. 9.
Oh, the countdown timer.
The countdown.
Yeah, it was a countdown timer.
Yeah, I know. That's when I turned
Well, we
it
got
on.
to give it, folks, so they know when to expect the game.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting to see how you guys did it, but then
You don't know how we did it?
No, because then I went off and did something. I never went back to look.
So, 3 people were responsible for the production of that game last night.
Yeah.
The Grizzled Girls, that is, against Lyman.
Yeah.
At Lyman Memorial in Lebanon. Lloyd Van Lannen, cameraman, was at Lyman Memorial. Me, I was in the back room here.
Oh, doing
And
like
then-
ESPN does it.
And KT was at his house in northeastern Connecticut.
So what you're saying is 2 of those people didn't wear pants.
Yeah.
I told KT, I said, we have to wear like hoodie jammies one night while we're doing a game and just say it would be kind of funny.
Yeah. That was
would
good.
be
That
kind of
was
funny.
That was a
not
good
wearing
idea
any
because that's what ESPN does the game.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
They just do it from their studios.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So yeah. Well, I'll even think about like Josh, Channel 30 meteorologist.
He does
He's
it
got
from home. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his whole basement is built out.
Yeah.
As a studio.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's the way of the future. But
I think it's going to go more and more.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
We're all going to do our personal iPods or podcasts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everybody's
No
got a
more going
podcast.
outside. We're just going to do podcasts.
well, the one good thing is outside sports are now opening up.
Yeah.
Going to be open sports.
Even more so, yeah.
More so than it is now, which is good. After the 18th, I guess, or 19th, I think it is.
It's not, well, yesterday was the first day in a long time. Well, no, in the last couple of weeks, it was 1.98 daily infection rate.
I think
One
they
night-
should do wrestling outside. We did as kids.
Well, they're gonna open up more opportunities.
They are 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the outside,
Which is good.
anything outside is going to be open. It's more people. Restaurants now can have more people.
Well, they can open up. See, here's the catch-22 of the restaurants from what I understand.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong, or you read something differently.
Go ahead.
Is that as of like the 19th, they're going to be able to open up to like 100%.
Yeah.
But
But
you got to still stay at a 6-foot social distance.
Yeah,
so
that's still there.
and most restaurants don't have the square footage
to do that.
to
Right.
allow that.
they'll be at 100%, but it won't be the same 100% as it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whether that changes or not, you know what I kind of wonder in a restaurant, if you go to 100%, no, are people gonna be claustrophobic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing
because
that
you're used to being away from other people now.
Mhm.
Well, the other thing that's happening too is don't forget the weather's going to warm up now, so outside dining is going to
Right.
become open again.
Next
Yeah.
week we got a couple days in the 60s.
Yeah.
For next week one.
It is March.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loving it.
next week's
Yeah.
supposed to be
I'll be out in my garden.
14th, the clocks go back.
next weekend.
Yes. A lot of well, the reason why I said it is a lot of folks thought it was this.
I did. I honestly thought it was
Yeah.
this weekend, but I was wrong. It's actually the 14th.
Yeah, it's next weekend.
Next
Those
week-
and
next weekend.
change your batteries in your smoke detector.
So do it this weekend. Just be a rebel. You know?
Well, if you-
I'm not
if you-
waiting. I'm rolling it back now.
If you notice though,
We'll be an hour late for everything.
It's like 5:45, almost 6 o'clock now before it's really getting dark.
Yeah. I know.
The days are getting much.
And you'll start to see more people out walking their dogs or just, going for a
As soon as
jog.
it warms up. a little.
Not me, but
I'm supposed to be
Well-
filming some night scenes coming up at
Well,
5:30.
Walking the dogs, but the wind is what's killing you right now, which is
Mhm.
March winds. I mean, let's face it, the temperature could be 30, but when you got winds coming in, it's 25. So
Yeah.
makes it, the wind blowing in your face, this makes it a little difficult.
Yeah, it was
to
a little
walk.
chilly walking the dog this morning.
Yeah, I believe it.
Bank said 25, but there was a breeze blowing.
Yeah, it was a breeze blowing. So in March is noted for that. But unfortunately, we all know what happens in April. Rain.
Oh yeah.
yeah, April showers.
Yeah. So
I used to know a girl. Her name was April Showers.
really,
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
yeah.
I knew a kid.
The
Well,
nickname was Rain.
I didn't, or rainy, gloomy. Actually, I didn't know a kid that was named this next one, but my mother did.
Mm.
Actually, she had friends that had a daughter that was in. They were big Moody Blue fans.
Yeah.
They named their daughter Tuesday Afternoon.
Oh, sure.
My mother again also had another friend that their husband had it was a big, huge sports fan. Named the kid Espen.
Oh boy.
I almost
ESPN.
I almost named my son Zachary.
Oh,
Well, that's not.
okay.
I mean,
Well,
that's,
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
What's short for Zachary?
Zach.
Say his name.
Zach.
Say his whole name.
Zachary.
No, Zach. Good enough.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got yelled at by my mother-in-law. She said, "You will not name him that."
Oh God. God forbid your last name is Bacon and your kid's name is Christopher Paul Bacon. Crispy Bacon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Kevin Bacon named his child.
I don't think, does he have any kids? I don't think Chris.
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't know.
Oh.
Who's he married to? Kira Sedgwick, right?
Yeah, he's still married to her. They've been married for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think of another one of those names.
Philip DeBus.
This is not a joke. I worked with a guy named Phil LeBlanc, and his middle name was Nolan. Fill in the LeBlanc.
That one was painful.
Yeah. No, I worked with him when I was working for Radio Shack way back when.
Wow.
Fill in LeBlanc.
Back when Radio Shack was a thing.
It's becoming a thing again, by the way.
Is it
They're
now?
back. Yeah, they're putting stores within a store, like different hardware stores. There's one in Massachusetts.
They did that years ago.
That's how they started.
Yeah.
That's how they started. Store within a store concept.
Yeah.
Everybody's building transistor radios again. Just in case there's
They
electronic
probably should. Radio Shack was not about, well, maybe in the 30s and 40s, Radio Shack was about building transistor radios and all this stuff. They always had the parts, and they had parts to do unbelievable things if you really put your mind to it. There were some things on the internet you could. I remember one thing, there was a scrambler box back for the old cable style boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And Radio Shack had all the parts, and it was great because it was like people come in, it was like a $25 ticket, and it was incredibly profitable because the stuff were all parts. So, so something that sold for $1.99 cost you like 18 cents. So
Mhm.
whatever. And people would come in with this checklist, boom, 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 boom. So finally, I just screw this. I just created little kits.
Yeah.
So here you go. Here's everything. It was like $25, and I don't think it worked. No one ever came back to me and said the scrambler. This was on the old style box where it had the dial. Like Eastern Connecticut Cable used to have those around here.
I used to crank,
Sideways, yeah.
crank it a little bit and it would turn, and all of a sudden, all the Playboy stations would
or HBO,
yeah,
or HBO, or you could take like a matchbook cover, right? And
Yeah.
you'd stick it in there, and it would hold. And it's like, whoa, this is great.
I remember the slide clicker one. For each channel, you had to slide it along.
Was that like a brown box?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I do remember that. So, all right. You guys ready for breakfast?
I am.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We had a good conversation about the senior center cost overruns. Hopefully you got something out of it, or we told you something that you didn't already know. We were hoping to get more comments, from you guys instead of going to Grizzle Down and bitch about nothing. That just pissed me off. It really does.
Yeah,
that really does. Create a forum, man. Talk about it. Let's get it out there, and let's create something good. That's really all we got to do. In the senior center, it'll get done.
Be excellent to each other.
It'll get done. Be excellent to each other. That's right. Congratulations to Joanne McCoy being our fourth winner in the $100 gift card giveaway for Big Y, all sponsored by Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. They're all over the place. They're in Plainfield, they're in Jewett City, they're a couple in Norwich. They're everywhere. So thank you very much to Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank for sponsoring that. So we out. We will see you once again Monday, right, Paul?
Monday.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. See you later.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports, and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN.
The 9 a.m. report on the Streaming News and Sports Network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner, who just celebrated their 40th anniversary in business. How do you stay in business that long in a small town like Jewett City? It's a simple